digital technology. So we are training them how we work on the latest skills. We are adding those, even the tools, we are adding those software languages. We provide them those kind of skill here itself, right? So that makes them, they are ready for that challenge. As if next time they face this kind of challenge, they are not looking back. In fact, they have solution, number of solution will come in their mind, right? So there are now challenges, but we coping with this new skill area, new technologies inbuilt in that. So implicitly we are combining, blending this mode of technology, digitization, then learning process. So our course is not only for theoretical, but what happening in the industry, what technology is going to be updated, what kind of new opportunities are there, how students should focus on to get them updated with that. So this is something we already have in our, all the courses almost, whether it's a PGDM general, healthcare, banking, or international business, all have been updated with that, and revision still continuing to update more even. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Sambhal, you want to add something?
A little point is that, like, since the last year, new development has been taking place in our government. As it is about to take, it's in the like process that a certain professions would be turned to be totally, when people can work from home only, they don't require to come to the office. This is one development. This may, they're just in the process. Another thing is 4 days of work week they are also deciding on. So as and when these changes would be taking place, accordingly the curriculum also will be updated by our institutes, in fact by all the institutes, by how the students are going to, when they come to work, how they're going to manage just for 4 days, but still they have to complete the similar number of hours, how they're going to manage the stress, how they're going to do their work, and its impact on their work life balance. All these things will come, but these developments would take some more time, but these things are in process, keeping in view the current scenario that had taken place in the last 2 3 years. That was all from my side as far as this aspect is concerned.
Yes, students and parents, if they have any queries, they can also dig into that.
Right. If there are any questions, we would love to answer them in the chat section. So, ma'am, as we rightly discussed about about the new trends and emerging areas of studies. In fact, even if we look at like MBA now, there is MBA happening in data sciences. There are n number of specializations and streams which have been added. Looking at the recent developments, which everybody all across the world, everybody had to go through. Do you think that there would be any changes in terms of the pattern of education, or or once again we come back to offline classes and everything goes back to normal?
Yes, yes. We are having a lot of researches on those things, how things would be changing with time, and of course everything like digitalization is the buzzword nowadays. We are even introducing programs in data analytics at the like PGDM. We are going to come with that in the times to come, because I think to according to me, and some of the jobs which are always going to remain in this world are one of like healthcare. People would be there, aging would be there, diseases would be there. So doctors and paramedics and all the people, support staff, administration, MBA, healthcare people, all of them would be required always. Another thing is the world is getting digitalized. So IT is, it is a booming sector, and business analytics, artificial intelligence, it is, it is just started, and I think it will remain till the world will remain. So we are coming up with those courses also, our institute. So
one thing is, Bharat, I will say here, even Dr. Sambhal, if we look up the present scenario, we will never be back to pre-pandemic level, I'm telling you, because that time has completely changed. Now, just think of that. Earlier, one thing I'm telling you, whether it's a big data, whether it's a managing of a business, right? Earlier, we need some documentation, right? So most of the time, earlier we depend on the offline system. The document will come, then whether we are dealing with business, one party to third party, right? Now system has become so better in way of with the help of this, thanks to Corona, that we are now not have any hesitation to using like Paytm nowadays. We are paying nowadays everything through the digital mode, right? I mean, wherever now businesses, they're transferring the amount, whatever, even you have a sample you required from US and you are sitting in India for textile industry, they're simply sharing those kind of, design, sample, everything is done on online itself, right? So we never be, I'm telling you, now business has completely changed. Business environment has completely changed. And all the things now need, that's why we are training here with kind of the new opportunities are there and new tools are required to, as I mentioned earlier, to solve these new challenges with help of technology and how we blend it to our learning process. And second, if we look up in Indian system, as I mentioned earlier, look up here, if someone is getting some problem, if you want to appointment in AIMS, then we know that people was line up for many days, in fact, to get an appointment. Now everything is available on your finger. You just book your appointment and then go only. No need to be on the line itself, right? So
Right.
similarly, whether it's a PDS system, whether you are dealing in a business, right? Everywhere now system has completely changed. That's why again this point is because PGDM gives flexibility to incorporate those kind of new technological tools immediately. We don't need to take approval from somewhere because that flexibility ICT given to update yourself, and that's why PGDM is incredibly, the kind of the orientation with the job, or whether it's a startup program, you want to be entrepreneur or you want to be on the corporate job, you are equipped with the latest solution with the technologies there. You have ideas, you can bring everything in your fingertips itself, right?
Right, sir.
Because
Right, sir.
now it's become more techno kind of the things are there. So now that's why the PGDM is still is if you just look up IMs also, now IMs also got a mandate to offer MBA degree, but IMs, many IMs still have not done with the MBA. They still have their PGDM because their USP was that only. All right. So PGDM give that kind of flexibility to incorporate the changing immediately, to introduce and train their students so that they are very much ready for the market. Whatever kind of challenge there, they are ready to solve those kind of challenge, whether it's a business, whether they are in their own startup, their corporate jobs, or they are doing their own kind of the family business. Yeah.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So one of the students, Jatin Singh, is asking, sir, what is the cost of MBA at Asia Pacific?
Yeah, the cost is generally 8.75 lakhs for the whole course. We do have scholarship programs also, and these students, they can always get in touch with us directly. All the numbers are mentioned on the website, so they can talk to us also. Our people are always there; they're present to solve their queries.
Great, great. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what are the type of entrance exams that one has to take for MBA and PGDM? I mean, are they separate? Are they different? Or, if only people can go for CAT, they would be eligible for both MBA and PGDM?
Actually, see, if we talk of our institutes, we are conducting GDPIs. Apart from that, we are also considering these scores from CAT, MAT, ZAT, and all those exams. But those scores must be valid. And these are the ways in which we take students as our candidates. And of course, 50% marks from university, a recognized university is very important. Normally, all the institutes, they are all taking like scores from CAT, MAT, and ZAT only, or else they are also conducting their own, written tests and all. That's it.
Okay. Now, we know that what kind of exams are there and what is the exact difference between MBA and PGDM. Which one would you suggest to the students? I mean, which one should they choose, MBA or PGDM? Because a lot of things are dependent upon that. If we look at it, generally people who go for masters, they look at grooming themselves. Then they look at a flourishing career ahead of them, because that is when they have to be independent and probably go out and work and meet the real world. So which one should a student choose, MBA or PGDM?
See, to put it very simply, these MBA programs normally, most of the times, they are recognized by UGC universities. Okay, they are university courses, right? And these, they may or may not be updated with time unless some kind of policy comes or things like that, because it is totally based on the government's like inclination, which finally percolates to the universities and the affiliated colleges, right? So it's not like they should not be very sure that the syllabus that they are studying, it is updated or requirement of the time. That's what I want to tell you. Now when we come to PGDM, these are most of the times they are offered by autonomous institutes. Okay, they have got the autonomy to upgrade their curriculum, because they want their students to placed whatever by whatever means. And one of the most important means is the right kind of pedagogy, right kind of curriculum, exposure. These are generally given with the help of the workshops, webinars that they arrange, industry connect, people from the industry. Weekly they come, they share the practicalities of the work, the world of work. So I think that PGDM would be a better option as compared to MB for the students in the present scenario.
All right, great, thank you. And is there any major difference in the teaching pedagogy in the curriculum?
See, if we talk of PGDM and our own institute, or autonomous institute, we all are answerable to a lot of stakeholders. Okay, we are private institutes. We are very particular about our brand. So continuously we are on the look for changes and upgradation of these students, upgradation of the skills. As far as MBA is concerned, as I told you, they are university run courses. They are generally affiliated by the state and the central government. So, we cannot be sure that these developments are taking place there also. So, that's it.
See, Bharat, if again the point coming like for MBA, right? So MBA is a degree which, as you mentioned, the confusion with that, if you are looking towards like teaching career, if you are looking, right? So in that course, MBA may be and a degree to get into that, right? But if you are looking at corporate job, right? And you want to be entrepreneur, or you want to see yourself down the line after some time to be a entrepreneur, then PGDM is the incredibly high on the side of your career, right? Because that is something is already industry connect, because program is, as we mentioned earlier also, this is PGDM is blended with what industry is required. We keep updating that course. Often we have revision on the every year we get into that. And then that means what we are supplying with the course is industry ready course, right? So in that way, this is more corporate oriented, industry oriented. And as we mentioned, we Asia Pacific Institute is one of its kind where industry council meet happens, right, every year. And then what the suggestions come, what the industry is required, we keep updating accordingly to syllabus as well as. And then we keep inviting those expertise also to directly interact with our students. It's not something like what we get input, then we give. We also let them interact with the industry itself, right? The CEO or the high level position guy, they come and interact that what we require, what you are learning is really connect with the requirement or not, right? So the demand supply gap is narrowing with the PGDM. Other side, MBA course, if you look up, as I mentioned, that you need an approval for from the UGC, and UGC not give you approval as an institution, they give for all the colleges, right? I thought this is something a lot of time will get into that, and definitely by the time a lot of things also change, because now we are in a technological driven kind of environment. Keep in mind, right? And we need to bring those changing very very effectively, very quickly, so that our students often remain ahead of others. That's why the difference. A guy is getting MBA degree, might have a degree in hand, but not equipped with the latest kind of the skills, right? That is important here in PGDM. So PGDM is more industry oriented, more customized solution we are offering in that way, and we are industry connect itself. So PGDM has this advantage.
Right. Right, sir.
Additionally, the total number of credits that we have for these courses, a major portion of the credit is also for the independent studies, the case studies, the dissertations. That these students, they go to the various organizations. We tie up with the HR managers of these organizations that help them to work for, suppose for example, for 2 to 4 months they'll be working there with a hands-on experience of whatever they have, they'll get a catch of all those things that they have studied in their books. So, and yes, we also are providing certifications from those organizations with the help of, the HR experts, with the help of, the industry experts. So these are the things that we are doing, that is facilitating these students to get more, ready for the, the requirements of the industry. So I think PGDM is one of the best options for these students if they want to pursue their careers in the corporate world.
Got it. Got it. And what are the career aspects, and is there a package difference if the students want to go for PGDM? I mean, what is the benefit of doing it, and what are the career aspects in front of students that they can opt from?
See, but as I mentioned earlier also, if you look up the PGDM, because as I mentioned earlier also that PGDM courses, we are uh, having the industry connect kind of curriculum, right? So our design of the entire pedagogy is driven through what the industry require in fact. So that makes that our students are high in demand. And that is something very important to mention here, that that is the reason that Asia Pacific Institute of Management had 100% placement. And as mentioned earlier, ma'am also shown in the PPT, that our some of the students, they get higher package. So most of the students in PGDM, if you look up, the average package come around 12 to 15 lakhs range. But MBA program, if you find most of these students placement, you will find less than say 10 lakhs, maybe around 7, 8 lakhs on average with the MBA colleges. You look up around, because the PGDM pass out in India and MBA pass out in India. Just look up that strength also. It will be 10 times higher than PGDM in India, right? So that makes that PGDM courses are more skill oriented towards, not is only the degree. As a degree, both are equivalent. But because PGDM is highly customized in terms of market demand, industry demand, and corporate, what corporate is demanding, right? So that's why they are equipped with that, and they are more demanded in the market, and there is more demand in higher package are there. So most of the time, you will find PGDM students get higher packages than MBA students, because they are skill oriented. They having a lot of extra skills which required in industry. MBA students lack on those skills because those are not updated regularly on the basis of what requirement in the industry. And we are living in it. Keep in mind, we are in a very transformative world nowadays. If we are not updating ourselves, we are really have the issue of what industry required. There is a gap in demand and supply then. So the PGDM program is definitely, I will say, ahead of the MBA in terms of corporate job markets. Yeah.
Ma'am, would you like to add anything?
Practically, our own PGDM students, they have been, as I told you, they have been placed as investment bankers, project managers, business development managers, sales managers, business analysts also, and HR managers, of course. So these are some of the jobs which most of the time and most of the students get when they are pursuing their PGDM courses from our institute.
Right. What would be the highest or the average package that the alumni of Asia Pacific Institute have achieved?
Yeah, currently it was 8.11 lakh average, and highest was 19 lakh for a student.
Which is certainly great. And if we talk about like percentage, like some 90% students get placed, since I think you guys have 100% placement assistance. So, is there any figure that many students get placed every year?
Presently, I can provide you, but yes, we have a good number of candidates who have been placed. And even for the students who do not, who are not able to make at that point of time, we keep on pursuing. We are in touch with the HR managers of various organizations. We keep on arranging interviews for those students until unless we help them the right kind of placement. So that guarantee is there from our side for the PGDM students.
Great, great,
And
great.
for our
Yeah.
Bharat, one thing I am adding here, for our international programs, especially because we have tie-up with German and Russian universities in two programs, MSc Data and Healthcare, we also offer them with licensing of those universities that students have a fair chance to be applying those market. They can also get into those markets because we have a tie-up like they can work over there also for 2 years, right? And then they will decide also. So the kind of the international arrangement, the collaboration, also we are providing opportunity to students to have exposure, and if they like to be in the international market, is they have to decide, right? So we also have this option that if they really looking towards the beyond the boundary also, there are the opportunities available and they can decide accordingly. Yeah.
Great, great. So it was. I think it was an eye opener. It was a great session. All the information that I'm sure the students, the attendees got, and in terms of a discussion, also it was pretty much intriguing because generally, if we look at FAQs, or if we look at even if we search at Google, MBA versus PGDM is something that comes up as the most searched item, as one of the most searched items. Because students are still not clear whether they should go for a 2-year degree, whether they should go for the diploma, and the way you explained us the difference between both, as far as the curriculum is concerned, or the faculty is concerned, or even the kind of industry visits and the extracurricular activities that the students get to indulge in. I think it clears the thought of a lot of students who would be listening to us, and I'm sure who would follow us or listen to us on Facebook. So thank you both of you, and thank you for
One more
sharing
thing,
wonderful
let me,
experience.
but before finishing, let me add the point here that
Yes,
see this I think now confusion is over. Why PGDM is more as a corporate job when you look upwards your startup, because now government of India has a lot of scheme also, right? With the startup program, with new incentive also added with that, and the point is here again. Now the last thing may be coming okay. PGDM is fine. It's a good cause. It's a industry oriented. It's a corporate. You can become entrepreneur later. You can learn a lot of later skills. So you cook yourself with that market ready kind of the skills. But still, if I say that why is a specific you should choose also. Now bringing that point also, because if once you decide as a parent, as a student, if someone decide, then often go for like what the ranking of the school. As we have mentioned, we are one of the high ranking also institute as ranking as concerned. Then infrastructure wise, I'm telling you, we are now where we can say that we have the almost all the infrastructure what we require for a business school, right? Uh, Most of the college often called world class, but we have really kind of the latest kind of the infrastructure what we require, right? And then placement record. As we mentioned, 100% placement we have done. Even our most of the students get 2 or 3 offers also simultaneously, and that makes us really that we are the institute to be looked into by the stakeholders, parents, right? Especially the students, because that is again because ultimate motto, ultimate what we discuss, why PGDM is job itself, right? Where we should be down the line after 2 years, and after 5 years, after 10 years, where should we? So PGDM adds these kind of institution often have an edge of your placement also, because 100% placement is something really claim is different, but achieving is really very difficult also. So we have achieved that as well as then student faculty ratio also is to be looked here. We are in looking in that very much. And location, if you look up the location of Asia Pacific, right, centrally located, two metros are connected with that apart from other services, right? and fees are also modest. That is also. So this is something how, and then we keep on and off engagement with the alumni also, because alumni also are, it's not something you pass out and we are just done with the job. No, we keep in touch with that, and we keep updating what they are saying also, what new things are required in the market, right? So this is something makes the institute very much competitive in the market, and why the students would prefer also for the PGDM. All right. Yeah.
Right, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you once again, Dr. Balram Rao. Thank you, Dr. Sambhal Zaman, for sharing your experience with us and enlightening us about the differences between the MBA and PGDM, and what the students should choose to step into a brighter future. Thank you
But we
once
can
again.
take any query if anyone written. I think so. No one has.
Well, sir, there was only one question in the chat. We did not get anything in the Q&A section. Once again, students, if you have any queries, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them. We'd love to answer anything.
Students are not visible, I think so, right?
I think there are no questions, sir.
Okay.
But still,
Okay,
if students, do you have any questions, you can go ahead and you can visit the website of Asia Pacific Institute of Management, or you can call on the numbers which are there on the website. And I'm sure that the admission team or the admission desk will be more than happy to assist you. All right, sir. I think we are good, and thank you once again. I'll just go ahead and I'll end this live session. Thank you, students, for being such a nice audience and listening to us today with such patience. Stop taking stress. The new times have come. We have stepped out of the COVID scenario. You can go out, visit the college, visit the universities that you like. Do visit Asia Pacific Institute of Management once. It is based out of New Delhi in Jasola, and I'm sure you'll be counseled over there by the best available counselors, and they'll help you clear your thoughts in terms of what degree to choose related to your masters. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bharat. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.